The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon and welcome to our first training session of 2018. I apologize for the delay in getting this started. We were having some technical difficulties, but we are live now. I hope the new year is off to a great start for everyone. I am Doug Cook, publisher of Jack's Facts Travel Marketing, and today I am joined by my friends from the Polish National Tourist Office. Anna Czekanska is the director of the tourist office, and Jake Wolos is the chief digital officer, and they will be presenting an informative webinar about all that Poland has to offer your clients, including city breaks, top adventure activities, art, history, and culture. At the end of their presentation, you will have the opportunity to have your questions answered by these experts from the tourist office, so please do jot down any questions you may have for them in the space provided. And now let me turn the presentation over to Anna and Jake.
Can you hear us?
Yep, we can hear you, Jake.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, once again, my name is Jake, and
my name is Anna.
And I think without further ado, we'll just start the presentation.
Okay, it's gonna be my part now, so I'm hope you are ready to listen a little bit about Poland. The country was visited by over 16 million tourists in year 2016, and the numbers are growing for the year 2017. And you may wonder why people are visiting Poland. The major reason to visit our country is culture, heritage, and history, which you can easily find in 7 major cities, but also all over smaller towns, which you can find in various regions. We also have 15 UNESCO monuments. Poland is a perfect destination to run any special interest tours. It can be culture, history, heritage, faith, adventure, but also culinary, which is getting very popular in Poland. The country is located in Central Europe with access to the Baltic Sea and then quite wide plains and the mountains in the south. Such a location is perfect for any adventure activities, including biking, hiking, and water sports. In addition, you will find 23 national parks, which are perfect to admire unspoiled nature and very leisurely atmosphere. So this is the Poland in short. So let's move to the cities. There are 5 major cities. When you start from the very top, so from the north, you will find Gdynia. Then in the very center, you can find Warsaw, the capital of Poland, and Poznań, a little bit more to the west. In the south, there is Wrocław and also Kraków. Kraków seems to be the most recognized city in Poland in terms of the tourism industry. But of course, we can talk about all smaller cities, such as Lublin in the east, Łódź in the very center of Poland, or Katowice and Torun a little bit to the north. And what is Poland about, the Polish cities? It's all about the storytelling. And we will show you we will give you just a few examples how you can create the stories showing Polish cities. Warsaw, this is the modern city, the capital of Poland. What's interesting about the city is that it has the youngest old town in the world. And the reason is because the old town was destroyed completely during the Second World War. But people loved the city so much, so they decided to come back and to rebuild it. The very meticulous works was done, and it was appreciated by the UNESCO committee. So the old town in Warsaw was awarded the title of the UNESCO World Heritage. When we move to Krakow, it's going to be a completely different story because the city has never been destroyed. So actually, when you walk down the streets, you will find all the same city from the medieval ages. It is also a perfect place to study architectural styles. So you will find in the main market square, which is, by the way, the biggest market square in Europe, you will find in the very middle the Renaissance cloth hall, the construction which was built on purpose for trading. And it's still as a trading place, so this is the best place to go for to shop for souvenirs. What you can see on the picture is the St. Mary's Church, and there was the very, very beautiful wooden curved altar in the Gothic style. And next to the cloth hall, you will find a Romanesque style building, a very, very small church. You would call it chapel. So outside is one of the oldest, but inside it also is done with the Baroque style. So Krakow shows you actually a completely different story, where you admire the past and the present, but also to the future when you find the modern buildings. When we move a little bit to the north, we will find Gdańsk. And that's a completely different city. The city is a Hanseatic style, which means a lot of very narrow streets, which are parallel to the birth. So, and you can find very similar kind of architecture in Lübeck or Rotterdam. But what is very interesting that the Gdańsk, as a harbor city, has always been engaged into trading. It means it has no a regular rectangular market square, but the longest street that leads from the city gate halls towards the waterfront, it's called the Long Market. When you are in Gdańsk and you want to join something very exceptional, just go in August, because then you can shop for bargains and for any kind of artifacts at the oldest fair, which comes, the history dates back to the 15th century. It's called the St. Dominic's Fair. And that's just the three examples, but whenever you go to any Polish city, you will find a different story behind. We've just wanted to show you a few examples how you can create a very simple itinerary, 8 days, 7 nights, and have a good conjunction with the combination of Warsaw and Krakow, but also we can include in Poznań, which is to the west, Gdańsk, which is to the north, and Wrocław, southwest. I think that's the examples of the itineraries that you can easily use and use for your own purposes. We guarantee you can easily materialize using the train connections, because we've done it already with our travel agent or our media people that visited Poland last year. Let's move a little bit more to the history and culture. Jake, your board.
Yes, let's talk about sites and sites of Poland, and let's start with UNESCO sites. Thanks to Poland's natural beauty, historic significance, and cultural vibrancy, there are 15 different UNESCO World Heritage Sites located within the country. These are without a doubt Poland's biggest draws. While you may not be able to see each of the destinations from the UNESCO list in Poland, seeing as many as possible during your travels will be a rewarding experience. Which is a good thing, since an average visitor is usually able to easily visit 4 of the UNESCO sites: the historic city centers of Krakow and Warsaw, the Wieliczka salt mine, and Auschwitz Museum and Memorial. Other notable sites include, and we'll show you a map of all the UNESCO sites in Poland. So other notable sites include the Białowieża forest, which is located in the eastern section of Poland, situated on the border between Poland and Belarus, and it's home to the world's largest population of European bison. Then you have the castle of Teutonic Order in Malbork, built in the early 14th century in a typical Gothic style brick, and it's also one of the largest brick castles in Europe. We also have Old City of Zamość, which is a wonderfully preserved example of what a typical Renaissance town looked like. It was built in the 16th century and heavily influenced by Italian theories of the ideal town, and it became a beacon of religious tolerance and advanced academic study. The medieval town of Toruń was established in the middle of the 13th century by the Teutonic Order in their efforts to conquer Prussia. It is almost entirely preserved, which gives visitors a window into what a medieval life in Toruń looked like. Toruń is also best known for its ginger bread and the birthplace of an astronomer, Nicolaus Copernicus. So these are just a few of the UNESCO sites we can explore in Poland. Actually, last year in 2017, additional site was added, and it's the Tarnowski Góry silver mine. Let's now talk about castles and palaces. We talked about the UNESCO sites, so now let's focus on some additional topics such as castles and palaces. Poland has an impressive array of castles and palaces which are located throughout the country. While many come from the medieval times, which was a very prosperous era for Poland, there are castles from many other periods as well. Some are priceless monuments of the past preserved in their original state, while others were restored or reconstructed with such a meticulous care that they became works of art, no less impressive than the original structures. Whether preserved or restored, many of timeless constructions are now home to museums like the Wawel Castle in Krakow, educational center like the Royal Castle of Warsaw, and also are venues for cultural events or out-of-door sound and light shows like those on the UNESCO-listed Marlborough Castle. Quite a few of the palaces located in the cities and countryside function as luxury hotels, with restaurants offering authentic Polish fare, such as the Krasiński Hotel in Lidzbark-Warmiński. Getting to some of these castles and palaces can also be an adventure on its own. One of the best and most popular tourist trails in Poland, the Trails of Eagle's Nest, passes through a chain of 25 medieval castles and watchtowers between Krakow and Częstochowa. With a 117-mile-long bicycle trail, many of the castles on the Trail of the Eagle's Nest are accessible by bike. It's easy to combine adventure with a history lesson. Faith and religious travel, the soul of Poland. We should also discuss the soul of Poland, which is the Catholic faith. In 1966, the nation of Poland adopted Christianity as its official religion. Today, more than 88% of the population belongs to the Catholic Church. It is that deep faith which allowed Poles to retain their identity throughout the turbulent history of their country. That is also why Poland is very proud to be the homeland of one of the most important religious figures in the Catholic Church, the Pope John Paul II. Some of the most important sites for the Catholic Church include the most popular destination of Polish pilgrimages is the Jasna Góra Monastery. Founded in 1382, this monastery was designed to honor the Virgin Mary. The monastery building is grand and beautiful, but its single painting, the Black Madonna of Częstochowa, is the true reason that visitors come to the area. Many Catholics are eager to explore Wadowice, the birthplace of Pope John Paul II. Visitors to Wadowice can see the home where Karol Józef Wojtyła, which that was his name, he was born. You can see his house where he was born, which is now a museum. Plus, they can also attend a mass in the very church where he was baptized. One of the most historically and religiously significant landmarks in all of Poland are the Franciscan friary in Niepokalanów. The friar Maximilian Kolbe, a man who later went on to be canonized as a saint and martyr of the Catholic Church, founded this monastery in 1927. By World War II, the monastery had grown to become one of the largest in the world and housed almost 800 men at one time. During the war, the monastery hosted both Polish soldiers and Jewish refugees, offering anyone who asked a safe harbor. Because of his actions, Friar Kolbe was detained by the Gestapo and sent to Auschwitz concentration camp, where he volunteered to take a place of another prisoner sentenced to be starved to death in an underground bunker. He died in Auschwitz in August 1949. Although primarily Roman Catholic, many different religions have coexisted in Poland since its statehood. There are Orthodox Christians, mostly in the eastern part of Poland, Protestants, which is actually the third largest faith, and Jews, which have been a part of Polish state for the past 1,000 years. Massive descendants of Tatars and even the Mennonites lived in Poland side by side. So you can say that Poland was the original melting pot. And while we talk about people coming from different parts of the world, I think we should also mention the heritage travel, which became very popular in the recent years. We also realized that a lot of travelers traveling to Poland that get in touch with our office are interested in finding their Polish roots. And since there's 9.5 million Polish Americans living in States, that gives you opportunity to explore the market even more. So if you have clients that are planning to go to Poland to find their roots, there are a couple of resources that they can use. They can start off their search by going to accessing the website of the Polish Genealogical Society of America. If they're looking for the Jewish roots in Poland, then they can visit the Jewish Gen site. And also, once they're in Poland, they can stop by Polish State Archives to find out more information, more documents about their family.
Okay, we'll be talking a lot about the history, culture, and heritage, and this is of course the most important reason that people come to Poland. But Poland is also the very outdoor activity country. The country has been invested in the infrastructure for a couple last years, and that's we can say today that we have one of the most modern infrastructures for biking. When we talk about biking, it's generally about the outdoor activities, so having fun, taking opportunity to see landscape and enjoy unspoiled nature. But in Poland, also there is the idea of combining the outdoor activities and learning about heritage and history. And the best example is, of course, the Green Velo Trail. This is the longest, over 1,100 miles marked cycling trail in Poland. What's very unique about it, it was designed a way to take you not only through the unspoiled nature areas like national parks or sanctuaries, but it also leads you to the castles, palaces, mansions, and other historic sites to discover it as enjoying the outdoor activity. The second example of the good combination of history, heritage, and outdoor activity is the Eurovelo 13 trial, which is called also the Iron Curtain trial, where you visit the countries which used to be behind the Iron Curtain and discover the modern history of Europe. Generally, biking is a huge thing in Poland, and you can meet a lot of local people biking during their weekends and holidays. But the big thing that has always been about outdoor activities, hiking in Poland. And Poland offers over 251 hiking trails, which brings us to over 13,000 miles of the trails to be covered. So generally, that's the areas which take you for hiking are either national parks or sanctuaries. And you can find them in all regions of Poland, from the very north, from the Baltic coast, along the whole country down south to the mountain areas. Of course, the most popular are the Karkonoski National Parks and Tatra and Bieszczad, the mountains, because those are the mountain hikes. But also the very beautiful is the Białowieża National Park, when you can meet the European biggest mammals. We call them European bisons. In Polish, they are called żubry. As we've already mentioned, Poland has 24 national parks, and each of them will invite you to enjoy the unspoiled nature, either hiking or biking. People may think about Poland as a destination for biking and hiking, but very few consider Poland for any kind of water sports. And that always comes as a surprise. Poland has close to 300 miles of coast with the very beautiful sandy beaches and all the conditions for surfing. We mean, of course, windsurfing or kite surfing. But the best place to do that is the Pucka Bay or the Hel Peninsula. The simple reason is this is the place to be for either those who want to try surfing or those who are very experienced and search for a challenge. The Hel Peninsula goes far into Baltic Sea and divides the Pucka Bay from the open waters of the Baltic Sea. On the Pucka Bay, the waters are shallow, the winds are more stable. So if you want to try, go there and just enjoy it. And if you are experienced, just go to the Baltic Sea open waters, and it's gonna be fun. The other option is, of course, lakes and canals. Which create very fantastic waterways for sailing, canoeing, kayaking, or rowing boats. So the options are available. The best, the Masurian area, which is the Lake District, but also you can find them around Poznań and Bydgoszcz, where you can find also the Bory Tucholskie region. So you can see, it's not only about the history and heritage, but also a lot of fun and enjoyment.
I guess it's my favorite part of the presentation, culinary travel and food. Well, Polish cuisine has been shaped by the traditional old Polish recipes with a touch of the savory flavors from the French and Italian cooking and produce, and the exotic essence of the Tartar, Lithuanian, Hungarian, Jewish spices. Traditional Polish cuisine used a lot of grains, oats, and buckwheat. Meat was mostly game, fish, geese, ducks, and Poland is also covered with forests, so you would also get different mushrooms, berries, and herbs. So it's not only pierogies, which came to Poland probably from China around the 13th century, or potatoes, which only became farmed in Poland in the mid-1700s, but there's a whole other world of tastiness out there in Poland, which brings another point of that of breakfast markets, better known here in the States as farmer markets. The idea is to have the best produce delivered by local suppliers, literally from farm to table, and to bring back those traditional flavors that've been gone for a bit. Visiting Poland is also a perfect time to try some local spirits. Meads, vodkas, and beer are most known, but local wine is making an entrance. It's actually possible to tour some of the Polish wineries as well. So no matter where you decide to dine, the aromas and flavors of Poland will be there waiting for you. Now let's just sum everything up and give you a couple of ideas of things you need to know about Poland. Well, first of all, Poland is bordering 7 other countries, which makes it perfect for multi-country and cross-Europe travel. No visa is required for US and Canadian citizens for stays up to 90 days. They just need a passport that's valid for 6 months. Getting to Poland, flying to Poland is also very convenient with Polish Airlines LOT, which provides direct flights to Warsaw from New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and Toronto, and to Krakow from Chicago. LOT is opening a new connection starting April 28th that will offer direct flights from New York, New Jersey to Rzeszów. If you or your clients are planning on driving in Poland, in addition to their American or Canadian driver's license, they need a national driver's permit as well to drive and rent a car. Ground transportation in Poland is fast and convenient. Modern highway system, so the driving is not a problem. Very much improved rail service, and the train schedule can be found on the website provided on the screen. Also, public transportation provides the best solution to move about the cities. Public transportation, taxis, also you can use your Uber application will work fine as well. The things also that's good about Poland is that even though Poland is part of the European Union, it's not in the Eurozone, so it's still using a local currency, which is a Polish zloty, and for $1 US, you get approximately 3.6 Polish zloty. Communication is also not a problem. English is widely spoken, so language issue or barrier should not be considered as a problem or something that should stop you from visiting Poland at all. Poland is also all year round destination with a mild climate. We do have standardized and high quality of accommodations. Free Wi-Fi is easy to find. Our guides and tour leaders are excellent and very professional. We do have dedicated local suppliers, and also Polish National Tourist Office is here to help you and assist you and answer any questions that you may have regarding planning a tour to Poland. So I believe that pretty much concludes the presentation. Just to let you know, we will be participating in New York Times Travel Show 2 weeks from now. Our booth number is 475. So if you happen to be attending, please stop by and say hello. And you can also see us at the New York Times Travel Show. So thank you for your time. We do apologize for starting a little bit late. And if you have any questions for now, please feel free to ask them. Thank you.
Great. Jake, Anna, thank you very much for that enlightening presentation. As you know, the last couple issues of Jack's Facts have had feature articles on Poland in them. So I think between those articles and this webinar, you've given agents a lot of background about what Poland has to offer for their clients. Now let me check and see what we have for questions here. Okay, one of our attendees noted that Poland is famous for its pottery, and she's asking if there are any tours you're aware of that focus on handmade products and crafts from Poland.
I don't think the big tour operators often actually the tour that covers the option to see the pottery manufacturing. But if you want to know more, we can find you all the provide you with all the information. And we've got a number of local suppliers, Polish DMOs, that will be happy to organize a tour for you if there is such a request. And they are all very experienced. In terms where you can find the pottery manufacturing, I would recommend two areas. One, it's called the Bolesławiec, which is close to Wrocław. It's southwest of Poland. And then the second one is Chmielów, that's a very recognized factory. So both are also open to visit. So if you have the question, drop us an email. We're gonna provide you more information and the contacts for the local suppliers.
Great, thank you, Anna. Somebody else asked the question if most people in the tourism industry, or I guess in Poland in general, understand English.
As I mentioned, yes, English is widely spoken in Poland. I mean, of course, there are areas if you go outside of city and maybe to a small village somewhere, that might be more of an issue. But within popular destinations, people do speak English in restaurants, public locations. So that's not really much of an issue, the language barrier.
And also, if we can add, Poland hosted big events last year. So actually, the tourism industry has got ready for that, and English is kind of the basic language to start communication for the tourism industry people. So taxi drivers, restaurants, hoteliers, and tour guides. So it shouldn't be a problem.
I mean, the worst case scenario, you may not necessarily be able to hold a conversation with the taxi driver. But if you tell them where you want to go and use basic English, you will get there. So that's not an issue. And also, usually younger people, well, younger, I mean people in their 30s, which actually started learning English when they were in school, they also speak the language. So that's, I guess, that's the best answer I can give you.
So it doesn't sound like it would be an issue. Somebody's asking if you're going to be attending the LA Travel Show, which
yes, we will be.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes, the booth number
it's 1047.
1046 or 1047. I'm not sure. I can check that real quick.
But yeah, we're gonna check it immediately. But also, when you go to our website, which is poland.travel, and there is a for travel trade, there is a section called Meet Us, and you will find all the information where we are available for you to provide any information. So it's gonna be New York Times Travel Show, Travel and Adventure Show in Los Angeles. And also some other industry events we are going to join. So it's going to be updated on the regular basis. So whatever comes, it's going to be information over there. And we're going to get you information just shortly. But you can go with other questions as well.
Perfect. A couple of people have asked if this session is going to be recorded, and yes, it is being recorded. It will be up at www.jacksfacts.com, and we can also send you a copy of the recording if you like. After the questions, I will put up the original screen which shows our email addresses, and you can request that. We would be happy to send that to you. There's a question if there are any upcoming FAM trips.
Yes, we might be doing some farm trips. I think more the second half of the year. Just if anybody is interested in, you see an email address, please drop us an email, and we keep that for future reference. And once we are ready, we're gonna contact those who are interested.
Yeah, just to confirm, the booth number for the LA show is 1046.
Great. Somebody's asking if you're aware of any travel agent specials for airfare to Poland.
We don't actually deal directly with the airfares. You know, you've got all the travel Polish representatives all over the country, so you can try to contact via their website, which is lot.com. There's also the specific website for the travel agents, so we can provide you with the address, contact address. Just you need to let us know you need it. We also contact some travel agents of the like the ethnic travel agents. They might be very good, and we also work a lot with the American Travel Abroad, who's also exhibiting together with us at the New York Times Travel Show. So I think that's what we would recommend. And also, there will be representatives on both shows. So if you have a specific question, you happen to be in New York and LA, stop by, and I believe, they'll definitely will be more than happy to answer your questions.
Great. Well, unless there's something else coming up that looks like, oh, wait 1 second. Somebody's making a comment that LOT is currently offering special fares from $4.99 round trip from their U.S. hubs.
Yeah, that's correct. Contact local airlines, get the best deals, and fly yourself and your clients to Poland. That's our recommendation. That's very correct. We've got the information from Lot Polish Airlines. That's very good deals right now. So if you need any contact, let us know. We're gonna provide you with information who to be contacted.
Great. Well, Anna, Jake, I think that's it. Thank you very much for the presentation today. And to everybody who attended, thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us. I do apologize again for the delay in getting started, but I hope you found it worthwhile. Again, the recording of this will be available at jacksfax.com under the webinar tab on top. And thank you all for joining us today. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.